What's going on, guys? It's Schixo, and welcome to the Schixo podcast. Before we begin today's episode, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Schizomania, subscribe at Schixo on YouTube, and follow me at Schixo Forever on Instagram for great content. And make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts for weekly podcasts. So, today's topic, brought to you by my wife, is going to be high school. So, I'm going to talk about my high school experience for about 5 minutes. And high school was kind of weird for me. I wasn't popular, but I wasn't considered like someone who didn't have any friends at the same time. I was just like, one of those middle of the pack guys. And I think that I was more comfortable like that. I never really wanted to be one of the popular guys, and I most certainly didn't want to be a loner with no friends. So I think that everything worked out perfectly for me the way that it was supposed to. All throughout high school, I maintained some great grades. I maintained my social status, even though sometimes people found me to be really annoying. That was mostly during 10th grade, but through 11th and 12th grade, I was able to rebuild my reputation, rebuild relationships with friends, change who I was as a person in a positive way, not in a negative way. And as a result, my high school tenure, at least the last 2 years, was very, very smooth for me. Of course, I met my beautiful wife, my mother of my child. I met her at Flowers High School. And we now have a beautiful son who is sitting right here next to me while I do my podcast. And let me pick him up. So, in high school, like I said, I maintained pretty good grades. I graduated with a 3.1 GPA overall, which isn't the most impressive, but it could always be a lot worse. Um, really? Well, apparently that's the same GPA my wife had. Um, Advice that I would have for high schoolers now is don't dwell too much on how everyone is in high school, because at the end of the day in high school, um, people are one way, and then you see them 5 6 years later and they're completely different. I graduated almost 8 years ago, actually 7 to be exact, because people just graduated a couple months ago. So 7 years ago I graduated high school, and life just moves along. Some people I went to high school with aren't even here with us on earth anymore. Some have families, some are in jail, some don't even live, on the same coast. Especially me. I mean, I live in Italy now. So everything in high school is very, very temporary, and that's an important thing to remember, because a lot of people get caught up in, oh man, my popularity, my social status all throughout high school. None of that stuff actually matters. What you need to do is just do the things that you're interested in doing. So if you're into anime, don't be ashamed of it, because people who were into anime got clowned in high school, and now it's the cool thing to watch anime. And I think people who stay true to themselves instead of changing themselves for popularity, they end up being the ones most satisfied with life. So that's what I have for you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe for more great podcasts just like this one. And don't forget, follow on Twitter at Schizomania, follow on Instagram at Schixo Forever, and subscribe on YouTube at Schixo. And I will see you guys in the next podcast. Goodbye, ciao.